Hi everyone, we're back with another show on the Health Manifesto podcast. Each week we explore the latest health-related science and technology, and more importantly, how to apply it to your everyday life. We're here to bring clarity, not confusion. And today's topic? Like always, it'll hit home for almost everyone. Welcome back. This is episode 7 of the Health Manifesto. And today we're breaking away from a metaphor that's shaped almost every part of how we talk about health, productivity, and performance. The machine. The idea that your body is a system of inputs and outputs. That if something's off, it can be fixed like a carburetor. That if you're tired, you need better fuel. That if you're inflamed, you need a new part. That if you just measure enough, your food, your steps, your sleep, your blood, you'll find the glitch. This is the mechanical view of the body, and it's deeply embedded in our culture. We track everything now: macros, micronutrients, human REM sleep, glucose spikes, calories burned, minutes fasted, steps walked, strain scores, readiness levels. The assumption is the more we know, the better we feel. But is that true? Because many people today know more about their biometric data than ever before, and still feel lost, still feel anxious, still feel disconnected. So this episode is a pause, a step back, to ask a harder question: what if your body isn't a machine? What if it's something more mysterious, more relational, more intelligent than any app can quantify? And what if the obsession with measurement is actually pulling you further from healing, not closer? That's what we'll explore today, because while metrics can be helpful, they can also become a trap. You start tracking out of curiosity. You want to understand your sleep, your food, your stress. But over time, the numbers become something else. They become rules. They become judgments. They become another way to measure your worth. Your readiness score says 58, so you cancel the workout. Your scale is up 2 pounds, so you restrict food. Your heart rate variability drops, so you panic before the day even begins. This isn't awareness, it's anxiety with a dashboard. And it's subtle, because it looks like discipline. It looks like biohacking. It looks like data-driven self-care. But underneath it, there's often a deeper pattern: distrust. Distrust in your hunger, distrust in your fatigue, distrust in your intuition. You start believing the device more than the body. You start living by the chart instead of the signal. You forget what it feels like to be tired without guilt, or rested without proof. That's when tracking stops being useful and starts becoming a performance of health without the experience of wellness. And when that happens, something in you starts to tighten. You become more rigid, more reactive, less forgiving. You don't feel informed. You feel policed by your own data. And that's not healing. That's surveillance. So let's talk about what to do instead. Because healing, real healing, doesn't come from optimizing metrics. It comes from building relationship. You begin by asking different questions. Not, how did I score? But, how did I feel? Not, what did the tracker say? But, what did my body say? You tune into breath before biometrics. You notice tension before temperature. You feel into mood before monitoring your movement. This is not about ignoring data. It's about remembering what the data is meant to serve. You, not your performance, your presence, not your numbers, your nervous system. Because your body is not a system to control, it's a partner to listen to. And when you shift your attention away from optimization and back toward observation, something softens. You begin to move because it feels good, not because your watch buzzed. You begin to rest because you're tired, not because your ring told you to. You begin to eat because you're nourished, not because your macro target allowed it. This is the difference between compliance and connection. And it's the beginning of feeling like yourself again. But that return to self, to rhythm, to trust, doesn't happen through more control. It happens through consistency, through listening, through proving over and over that you'll stay. Because if you've lived in a system where every cue was questioned, every symptom pathologized, every emotion dismissed, it's going to take time to rebuild trust. Your body doesn't respond to logic. It responds to tone, to rhythm, to repetition, to safety. So when you choose to pause, even when it's inconvenient, your body notices. When you choose to eat before your energy crashes, your body notices. When you stop overriding tiredness with stimulants, your body starts to exhale. And with every small choice, you send a message. I'm listening now. I'm not going anywhere. You don't have to scream to be heard. That's how trust returns, not from perfection, but from presence. And that presence becomes the new baseline. So what does this change in baseline actually look like in real life? When you begin to trust yourself again, everything slows, not because you've lost drive, but because you've found rhythm. You don't eat just because a tracker told you it's time. You eat when you feel grounded and present. You don't work out to hit a number. You move because your body's asking to move. You wake up and check in with how you feel, not just what's written on the calendar. Your attention shifts. You start noticing things, the way your shoulders rise when you enter certain rooms, how your energy dips before certain conversations, the way a walk after dinner settles your nervous system better than any data point ever could. These aren't inefficiencies. They're intelligence. This is your body talking. A trusted body is an honest one. And the more honestly your body can speak, the more clearly you begin to live. That's what it means to practice health, not perform it. You're not chasing control. You're building communication. And that kind of healing, real, grounded, relational healing, only ever happens one moment at a time. So maybe that's where we close today. Not with another thing to track, not with another protocol to follow, not with another plan to perfect, but with a quiet reminder. Your body is not a machine. It's not here to be optimized. It's here to be inhabited. And the more you listen, not measure, not judge, but really listen, the more clearly you'll start to hear the language it's been speaking all along. And that's the beginning of coming home. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for tuning in to the Health Manifesto. This show is about one thing, helping you understand the systems around you so you can take smarter, simpler steps toward your own well-being. We'll see you next time.